Hi guys, quick update here for FET. It's now Friday, 6th of December. So if you want to join the group, everything's here, pay via crypto. Message me through the Facebook page. We've got literally just a few more spots left for the educational courses. Black Friday discount is 15%. The code is Black Friday. That discount will be going away in the next 48 hours. And then after that, once the next couple more sign-ups after that, it will no longer be available. The price will go back to the original price. Okay, good. So FET is a coin which we've been in for a very long time now. Originally, we were in AGIX when we made the NVIDIA to the world's most valuable company call. I still can't call a top in NVIDIA. I think it might still go higher to 4 and 5, unbelievably $5 trillion company. So FET is really the best AI coin out there. It's a merge of FET itself, AGIX, as well as Ocean Finance, right? So it's kind of like a 3-in-1. So this could easily hit a top 15, a top 10 cryptocurrency coin, the way things are moving. It's one which we've been in for quite some time now. We are in Super Cycle 5, so that was the 1, that was the 2, that's 3, 4, 5. So we kind of sold in out of here as we knew we were going into a correction. The AI hype was pretty much priced in at that point. Got back in here and added 2 positions just before this breakout here. Effect is proportional to cause nice consolidation here in a 1-2 pattern, and we're now going to continue on going higher. So the target still remains as it is. There's no reason to, change the target. The only reason we would ever change it is if new price action, comes to fruition, which is obviously bearish or different. But right now, everything seems to be working well. Nice green candles, nice good amount of volume coming in. And that is basically, we're in the third of the final wave 5, which, as I say, we think it's going to go between 9 and around $12. We also have the other side of the channel, which we are tracking in the group. And, once again, people who are now late to the party, there's still money to be made. But if you join the group, you could have gotten at 1 and better yet, 0.64. I mean, we've got someone in the group when we called this low here who's been long ever since here. So that's, top to bottom, that's almost 14,000% move. So, the group is for everyone. If you're long-term investors and you just want to buy, set it and forget it, the group is for you. Other groups, they're more short-term. They're just sort of, randomly guessing, and guessing doesn't really get anywhere. You can have a look at the YouTube video to see what calls have been made. So if I just do some quick Fibonacci analysis here, we were looking at this as the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5. So you can compare the logarithmic relationship of the 1 to, you can see that 5 there, and then, well, that was the 3rd. That gets you to the 5. So that would be the 1-to-1. Then that in itself gets you towards 8. And then if you were to break this wave down itself, we're now on the 3rd. Typically, the 3rd will equal 1.618 of the wave 1. And that gets you to 4.35. So once it makes a new high, that's just the 3rd. Then you've got the 4th, then you've got the 5. So you can see we're nowhere near done. Even from here, it's more than a double. Then obviously, best case scenario, it eventually tags this channel line, which, as you can see, is kind of coming in at around 14 and 15. So definitely has the potential to become a top 10 coin. I've noticed this many times when the rest of the market is just sort of consolidating, dying away, pissing around, and FET suddenly starts moving. So it's moving very well against the BTC as well, which is something that we need if you want a real altcoin push. You can see here, as Bitcoin is consolidating around 100,000, we're now getting a breakout here, and as you can see on the monthly chart, I mean, that is a nice hammer reversal candle, exactly as we detail it in the group. It's reversing something. The head is in the top 3rd of the candle, is green rather than red, and it's actually reversing a trend. On top of that, it's taken out the stop. So, if there was a hammer randomly here, hammers are supposed to reverse something. You can't just randomly have a hammer in the middle of nowhere. They're not really good. Like this, you could argue, I mean, it's not even really a shooting star, but I'm trying to show you a crappy hammer candle here, which I can't right now. How is that ever going to be a real shooting star? Shooting star is supposed to be at the top of a trend, reversing something. That's already after a downtrend. So this is the textbook definition of a hammer. It's reversing something. The head of the candle, i.e. this part this bit here, the head of the candle, is in the top third of the entire range of the candle. So if that entire range is X, this is in the top third. That's 1/3x, and is green rather than red, which implies that the bulls, during the open and the close of that month, they managed to increase the price. That's definitely more bullish than it would have been had the bulls or the bears taken charge and closed it red rather than green. So that's definition of a good hammer candle there. On top of that, it's ransom stops, and as I say, it's reversing something. So with a candle like that, you can only see us going higher. So we'll have a quick look at Bitcoin here. Like I said, we're covering so many coins in the group. I mean, we've got a watch list here that's ever growing. We're covering everything. DigiBuy is one which I've covered 7 years ago. That is definitely one to watch here. I've not as of yet done a YouTube video on that, but definitely if you're into DigiBuy, you want to know the long-term targets. Probably one of the oldest, strongest, longest big blockchains that we have other than Bitcoin and XRP. It's probably in the top 2 or 3. I mean, in my eyes, DigiBuy is number 1. How far is that going to go? Where's it going to go? Is it just going to peter out here and die and just go sideways indefinitely, or is it actually going to go somewhere? For those who want to know, come and join the group. So let's quickly have a look at Bitcoin here. Let's just have a look. So, I mean, ultimately, we're still in this consolidating kind of period here. I mean, we've kind of broken out here a little bit. It's not really cause for concern. As we said, there were various different corrections here. You could just read all of that as a running flat, and now it's going to go higher. If not, it's more of like an expanded flat. We're just going to consolidate here a little bit more. I noticed that the dominance is kind of creeping up a little bit, so we've kind of moved out of, on a swing trading basis, of all of the layer ones. I mean, that was one of the fastest altcoin seasons ever. I mean, it's a 13-day altcoin season, and now we're going to get a temporary relief rally to the dominance. So where is this going to go longer term? Very, very important if you're holding altcoins. There is still a chance this can eventually go to 70%. I mean, when this goes up and Bitcoin goes down, obviously you want to be holding stable. So I am still firmly of the belief eventually it goes to 76%. But right now, you could argue the altcoins are certainly in control, and some consolidation here is probably what's going to happen between now and the end of the month. I would say consolidation between these two ranges. Sort of backing and filling here, but Bitcoin's moving very nicely. It doesn't really matter if it's broken out of the consolidation or it's still consolidating. The most important thing, has it topped? Has it formed a cycle top? And the answer is no. Now, the higher it goes here, as it goes above 105 and 110, obviously we're then going to start hitting our targets. Now, we have 3 targets here, X, Y, and Z. So far, we've not even hit X. But as it breaks 105 and 110, we're going to slowly start creeping into our targets, and that's when it's time to slowly offload this crap to dumb normies who are going to end up buying the top. I still continue to hear of 200,000. I honestly don't think this cycle we're going to get that high. We're going to top out somewhere between 110 and 200,000. And like I said, we've got 3 taking profit targets. So far, none of them have been hit. But once we get to the final upper target that I have, alarm bells are going to be ringing. There's going to be so many signals to suggest that a big turn is coming. And then basically, we're going to get a large cycle correction. And that's what we're kind of forecasting here. What is going to happen here? It's very, very important if you're a long-term investor. Between now and let's say the end of the decade, which is here, what is going to happen to the price of Bitcoin? That's very useful information. Where is this market actually going to go? Because obviously, sooner or later, a super cycle top is going to emerge. A grand super cycle top is going to emerge if you know what the exact wave count is. So if you want to know more, come and join the group. Bitcoin, there are investors in the group who have been holding Bitcoin for over 10 years. That's all that they're interested in. And short-term altcoin cycles, they'll take 5-10% of that Bitcoin, make a quick buck, double or triple their Bitcoin holdings just from that cycle by following the group calls, and then they'll go back into Bitcoin again. So a lot of people consider Bitcoin to be like a dollar. They just use the altcoins to find outperformance of altcoin to Bitcoin, and then once that kind of trend is over, like an XLM XRP recently, DigiBuy had a huge move recently, they then convert back to Bitcoin. So if you're only interested in holding Bitcoin long term, which is fine, come and join the group, because it's very interesting. As we approach this cycle top, a lot of people are going to either call it too early or in the case of 200,000, call it too late. And the next thing you know, when it turns, it can turn pretty violently, as we have seen. These are huge corrections, these. These are nearly 70% corrections. You know, let's just say it turns from here, which it obviously won't do, but let's just say it turns from here. What is 70% minus 101,000? You know, that gets you back towards 28,000, right? So if you're a long-term investor, you need to know where this market is actually going to go, because lots of interesting things are going to happen here over the next couple of years. I mean, 25 and 2026, these are 2 years no one is ever going to forget from a macroeconomic perspective. We're now just working towards that video where we do a summary of all the events that we're outlining for 2025. Obviously, that's going to be released at the start of the year, but we're just doing the final touches to that, because it's important everyone has a framework. Just like in 2024, this first weekend, we identified Nvidia, we identified the melt up was going to continue, but the S&P was at 4,500 then. 26% year on year. It's one of the greatest years ever since 2008 for the S&P. Is that going to continue next year? I don't think so. Could it be a bit of both? Well, possibly. So come and join the group if you want to know more. Very useful joining the group, and join before the prices go up, because right now, frankly, I'm giving it away, especially over 3 months. Anyway, so going back to FET, not much to really update or say or do. The only other target I would have you have a look at is the reverse algo target, which I believe I pulled from this low. No, it wasn't that one there. Where's the reverse algo target? I believe I got the 1.618 extension from here. See, that also lines up, because that was the initial sort of impulse down, this kind of ABC correction down from here. And then you can also take a larger pull from this impulse here to this impulse there. Once again, that also gets you at 7. So there's so much confluence here between 7 to 9. If it breaks through that, then yes, it's going to hit the other side of that channel. So, you know, first and second profit targets, they're right up there, but there's a lot of confluence going on here. You've got the 1-to-1 with this move here, and you've got such a nice fractal. And, you know, like I said, those in the group have been long since here and here. They've just never sold, because we've identified this coin a long time ago. Whilst we were in AGAX, the minute it merged, obviously everything had to be moved over to FET. Do you see that? Basically in this part of the cycle, then obviously we're going to expect a large correction sooner or later when it tops. So always nice to see the channels, the fibs, the reverse fibs, and the fractals, and the AI hype with the Nvidia, everything working well. I mean, Nvidia could top in this particular market cycle. I happen to think it's going to continue going higher here. I mean, pretty much giving away the target there. You know, that is, greatest calls in human history have been made on this YouTube channel. While everyone was calling bearish double top here, sold their entire position, we entered right on that candle there. And that's all you need. That's a 10,000% move there just in weekly options. That's all you need. Forget about everything else. Then for those who are longer term, they're still holding, and they're still holding. They know it's going to go higher. This can't be the top. Wouldn't it be nice to see Nvidia and FET go right to the top? I think FET's got great potential here. I've not as of yet checked the market cap today, but I reckon this could easily become a top 10 coin. Anyway, that's enough for today. If you want to join the group, there's so much going on. Come and join the group, and if you want to take advantage of the educational courses, Black Friday discount for another 48 hours, then after that it's going to be taken away, and only another couple of subscribers will be allowed to sign up to those educational courses, because 15% I'm giving it away.